My name is Fidelia Abara. I work as a Field Security Coordination Officer in charge of Nairobi, Western and Central. I was a commissioner of police in my country, and I went on several missions. Like in Kosovo, I was the chief of operations for KP area. I worked in Omil as the UN Police Chief of Staff, and shortly after that, I got into the UNDSS as Field Security Coordination Officer, and I was retained in Liberia by the SMT there because of a job well done, and that was 2007. And then I stayed till 2010. I was transferred on MRP to as FSCO for Sierra Leone. And in Sierra Leone, I spent about 3 years. Shortly, when Ebola came, I was meant to stay there for another year to be able to manage the situation, which of course I did. And then I got promoted to P4 and sent on MRP to Pakistan. And I worked for about 4.5 years there, and then got reassigned to Nairobi in the late November 2019. And this is the position I've been working since that time till date. There was a time, like in Liberia, the individual contractors took to the road. They burnt 3 UN vehicles. And in fact, they blocked the gate. They didn't allow people come in. However, the management, the UNSMS management, they felt I could talk to them, because it was not an issue of bringing police to respond. It could have escalated. And then I was the one the mission took, and I went throughout the provinces. I spoke to the staff union, and I gave them a time frame, like 2 weeks, to give me 2 weeks to talk to the UN SMS management there, which of course, after the meetings with them, and I had to prepare a memo, and I gave to the chief mission support. They called me to a meeting. I discussed with them, and the suggestions and advisories I gave worked out, and this now made that the staff union did not come back to protest again. Being in the security and as a professional, you will face a lot of issues from staff in the field, because some of them are not actually security conscious, and it needs a lot of patience. You need to have a lot of patience to be able to deal with different characters we have in the UN. As you know, where you have a diversity and cultural differences, you're bound to have human beings with a lot of differences, and sometimes they tend not to work within the policy of the UN, and they also try to, in the course of trying to advise them, some of them look at it as being personal. So being a security professional, you just have to be patient with them to be able to accomplish your job. I try to go to the gym sometimes. I go out, with my family. We sit out somewhere, have some food, some snacks, and I also invite some of my friends over, and after that I think I'm good to go.